Hello there and welcome to a new video. In this one, I'm going to be going over how I use my planner for this third quarter of the year, as well as just do like a quick review of September, since I sometimes do like a monthly flip through of the previous month. So let's go ahead and get started. So as far as how I use my planner, I don't think it's really changed all that much from the previous like the Q2 flip through, but I'm just gonna kind of go through things fairly quickly. I keep my stencils here. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't, but they do come in handy. This one has been reached for quite a few times lately, and I've actually been keeping my Pentel brush sign pen handy. I used to keep it in my pouch, which is something I started doing not too long ago actually, but found that since I am reaching for it pretty often, I've just been putting it here, which is also great because it's helping to kind of keep this loop open. And this is like my little dashboard, so there is a video up on me setting this up. And then one of the first things we flip through is some of the habits or just things I kind of want to keep track of as far as when a certain thing got done. So it is color coded, and you can see here that each color is represented by this particular task. I do want to add more. I just need to figure out, and I've said this in the previous videos too, just need to figure out how to do that and what exactly I want to add, because some of these things are not going to be, ideally I would like to do these things every week, but I don't, as you can see. But yeah, some of the other things I want to add are not necessarily on a weekly basis, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, but that's kind of like my thing to figure out. And I think for now, I'm just gonna leave this, and in a few months when I go to set up my new planner for next year, that's when I probably really need to sit down and think about how I want that layout. And then the next thing that we have is the monthly spreads. After this is called, I think, the yearly index. And since this is an AVEC, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, since this is an AVEC, it starts in July. Yep. So it starts in July and it goes through December, or it goes through June of next year, but this practically is irrelevant for me since I am going to be starting my new planner in January, and this could be used for notes or something else really. And then the monthly section does start in June. So now jumping into October, I just did a setup for this, just did a video setting this up. And one of the new things I've been doing, started last month, was setting up goals and just trying to get something done, because there's so many projects that I want to do and I don't get them done. I have a list of the projects that I want to do, but I, for some reason, don't get them done. I figured I need to sit down and really kind of figure out how I can get that done. So I wrote the steps. I gave myself a deadline. And as far as like a deadline to complete which part of the step or just to do what. So I do talk a little bit about that in my October setup, as well as my September setup. So I worked on some doormats and I actually did get them done. So it felt really good, and I kind of want to keep that momentum going as far as setting up my goals and all that jazz. And then the next section is the weekly section after the monthly goes. And I have weekly plan with me videos, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. And with the Hobonichi Cousin, because it is an A5 size, it has a lot of space. It has a lot of space for doing various things. So I've seen people do like a fitness tracker or a sleep tracker. People tend to decorate this bottom section because it is like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and most people are asleep at that time unless you work some graveyard shifts. Yeah, so there's various ways that this spread can be used. And then for me, I really just kind of do a little bit memory. Like I go through the week and I start filling things out as far as what I did, and sometimes like what I didn't do. But it's kind of like it serves the purpose that it serves for me is kind of like for my memory, so that when I go into journaling for a particular day, then I have that to reference. And yeah, I just kind of try to get colorful with it and just try different things, new things, putting washi tape in different places. Sometimes I've put it down here and then shifted this a little bit higher. So it just really depends. Sometimes I don't use washi tape here and I write the dates in cursive, not the dates, but the day, name of the day in cursive. So it's, at the end of the day, it's really just kind of about having fun. And when I go back and look at it, it looks like fun. So I like that aspect of it. And while we are here, it has been quite the stormy day. I'm really surprised. And one of my friends actually got a video of his neighbor's palm tree on fire, so I'm guessing lightning struck it. I really don't know. It's kind of scary to think about that because we recently had a park with some really big old palm trees pretty much go all up in flames. So it's been an interesting fall, to say the least. All right, so now that I got that taken care of, yeah, I like to track the weather up here. So a fairly new thing also that I've been doing. And then in the next section goes into the daily section. So I've done flip throughs of these months. These little tabs, by the way, are from Sticky Club. And so let's go ahead and do a little September flip through of the daily section. So for the daily section, if there was kind of enough that happened, I do like to write down in a journaling kind of way. I don't have a particular style as far as which stickers I use, when I use them, the particular style of using them. Lately I'm just like, whatever, just use them. I was a little bit more methodical about it, but it does take a long time. So at least for me, it does. So I just kind of like to put stickers down and then write around that. And then on days where I don't have that much to write, then I like to do art. There is a person on TikTok. I like to watch her watercolor videos, and she makes watercolor look so easy. And so I'm inspired by her and wanting to do stuff. Although with this is all marker. So there is a little bit of a cheating component to that, in that I'm not actually using watercolors. I do have watercolors. I haven't broken them out since I bought them, but you know, it's a work in progress. And then another thing that I do is I write down recipes and give myself little tips for next time. I should probably leave myself some space too, if in case I make the recipe again, that I can go back and update it. But yeah, it's for the most part a similar format. I think I just do the title and then the ingredients and the directions for making it. It's very vague, so I don't get super detailed with my recipes, just because they're really just kind of for me to follow, and again to give myself tips. So I made sushi bake the other day, and I definitely know I used too much cream cheese. So, and that was one of the tips that I left for myself, is that I had made one without cream cheese and actually preferred it. So I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, journaling, recipes, and then I'll show you where I can reference these recipes after we're done flipping through here. So here I just took some marker and put down these stickers. So pretty minimal spread, but I like it. I really liked how that turned out. Most of these stickers are from Sticky Club. These are from Happy Planner. I don't remember the planner book itself. It might have been like watercolor florals or something like that. And then some of the washi tape is from Amazon. Kind of going back, this is some washi tape also from Amazon. So just trying to get some of that used up. I remembered like earlier this year, I kind of like to do this like blobby thing where I give myself some constraints to write in. So it's also really nice when you don't have a lot to write about and you can make it decorative at the same time. That's super effective. So I picked some stickers, I picked some colors that were kind of similar to the stickers, and that's a stamp. So I really like how this turned out too. There are some days where I just don't do anything, and that's okay. I do like to write down some daily tasks. I have been forgetting to mention that. So on weekdays, I do like to write down some tasks for myself, so I kind of can get myself in the right headspace as far as what I would like to get done and how that could fit into my day with working from home and getting these tasks done. So they don't always get done. So in this case, like refilling my vitamins got moved to the next day. I've also been experimenting with how I do my task list. So these stickers, these are stickers that come from a Happy Planner sticker book. Again, I don't remember which one. I was also in the past separating, and this, sometimes I use a sticker, sometimes I don't. You can see in August, I have to do work and home. Work, I didn't have that much. And kind of kept it up, trying to use some stickers, and that was my basic setup. I actually really like what I'm doing lately. These daily stickers, by the way, are also from Sticky Club. A little note here about gel pens. Some of this, a good portion of this is my fountain pen, but a note on gel pens. I thought I was in the clear because this brown ink is a gel pen, and I thought I was in the clear. It had dried for a couple days and I thought I'd be fine, but it still smears. I don't know if that was super visible, but I can do it. Yeah, so you could see the T, it's like a little dragged there. So this has been a long time now that I've written this and should be dry. So for some reason with the Tomoe River paper and gel, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to mesh well, which makes me kind of sad because it comes from my High-Tech C Coletto. These are gel pen refills, and this is like the refill body that you can put whatever. So I have like different ones that I used to use, and I have all these different colors, and that's actually how I color code in my yearly index section. But I don't know if I want to continue using gel pens, or at least those particular gel pens, because of that smearing issue. It's not such a big deal because it's not like I'm going around and touching this, but at the same time, you know, I do flip through stuff, and sometimes, you know, these things happened. So that was really frustrating. You can kind of see here where it says had been. It's not super obvious. If you can't see it, trust me, it's there. And then these are just some stickers that came from like a fall winter seasonal book, Happy Planner book. And the new thing that I've been doing and actually have been enjoying more so is just making a little to-do list, and then in black is my like personal / home to-do list, and then in blue is my work to-do list. So I've been liking that, especially right now. My to-do list is really for work kind of not existent. I could make it a little bit more so, but it's the same pretty much every day right now. I don't have any specific tasks, so to speak. I thought this day was the first day of fall, the 21st. Whoops. Here's another recipe. I struggled with this one because, again, I've been trying to use my stickers since I have them, and they are actually really pretty, but I was really constrained as far as like my ingredients, like trying to fit everything in these particular frames. And actually, I think I meant to put like tips, ingredients, directions or something, but I didn't. And then here I'm actually using marker. I think these are my Pentel brush sign pens. That looks like a pretty close match to me, actually. And the tip on these, they're pretty small. They are brush pens. They write pretty nice. So just, again, just trying something new instead of using my Uni Jetstream, or instead of using my fountain pen, I figured I'd try something different. Same thing here, and actually I've done this before as well. Ooh, this is hard to see. I've done this before where I'll take a marker with a fine tip. So in this case, it was my Marvy La Plume 2s. Obviously this isn't the right color, but the La Plume 2s have a very fine tip. Kind of reminds me of like the Micron pens, markers, I don't know what you call them. But they have this nice fine tip, and then on the other side, you know, they have the brush tip, so you could, this color is this color, and then this color is this color. So that's kind of what I was doing there. And then also a new thing that I've been doing is taking a sticker sheet. Again, these are all from Sticky Club, except for this brown washi tape, and decorating 2 pages like this. It definitely works out when I have things to write about on pages that are like facing each other rather than like behind one another. So it kind of makes it a little bit more cohesive, but when that doesn't occur, then I kind of have to think of something else to do, because yeah. And then here I'm just kind of experimenting with some stamps that are also from Sticky Club, and just kind of experimenting with my markers. So these are also the Marvy La Plume 2 markers. I imagine I could use pretty much any of my markers. Let's see, the Pentel brush sign pens potentially. But it's really easy to use these markers because they do have such a large tip that you can cover, you know, get more of a surface area on the stamp. I imagine too, if you have Tombow brush pens, that would work just fine. But yeah, I was experimenting with those. And then something else I experimented with was I have like other stamps. These are actually from Stationery Pal, these stamps, and then the background, using stamps with as a background. So I used like a lighter color, and then I knew my fountain pen would be nice and dark enough to, you know, I guess come forward. I probably could have used a bit of a lighter color anyway because it can be a little distracting, and then, you know, fountain pen takes a little bit longer to dry, so I got a little bit of a smudge, but that's okay. And I guess I didn't have anything to write here, or just haven't had the time to do. But yeah, and then I switched my little stickers for the month. And then moving on to what I have in the back of the page, these are just some swatches. So I think for next year, what I'm going to do is leave this section out. So these are my Pilot High-Tech C Coletto pens, the ones right up here, the ones that are smudgy. These are Zig Clean Color Dot markers. These are the Zebra mild liners, Pentel brush sign pens, and my Marvy La Plume 2s. So I think for next year, I'm just gonna have a little bit of a different setup for these swatches, such that it's a little bit more realistic as far as how I would be swatching them. Yeah, instead of like keeping it confined to one little square, just do a few more squares of it, but might take a few pages of doing that. And then I did cover up some of the pages with my own printouts so that I have a little bit more to write with. And then, and I do need to update this because I think there's at least 2 more recipes that we might have seen that need to be added to my list, but I just write the date and what the recipe is. Did I have? I don't remember. Anyway, so yeah, these are my recipes, and then work to-do list, and then just some work notes, more pages. And by the way, these work notes, this to-do list, this all again is in the Techo. It's just like a bunch of stuff, like some have like stretches, an age chart, just like random things talking about foods, I think. And so I just whited out some of that stuff and put this page down. It does have a sticky back, so it's kind of like a giant sticker basically, and it is gridded to the same size as the Hobonichi pages, so that way it kind of is very cohesive in that sense, like I know what to expect and how to adjust my writing. I did leave this one. Obviously I haven't been using it. I would like to, but I don't know. I think with gifts, I have like Pinterest boards and something else that I kind of, I keep tabs open in my cell phone. And when I see something that I like for somebody, then I just make a tab for them. And then I have a giant to-do list that I basically just try to keep adding more and more to it. And from there I can get more organized as far as, okay, what is potentially going to be going in my yearly index. So for example, that would be like clean ceiling fans, organize the garage, the pantry, the baseboards, cabinet faces. So all of these things I would like to eventually put in my yearly index. And then I have like projects as well. So like the doormats. Right now I'm working on the socks for the month of October. And yeah, just kind of keep adding stuff to my to-do list. More note pages. And that's pretty much it. And then I do have a notebook here that I just use to swatch a bunch of stuff. This is why I'm saying like I want to change up how I have my swatch page so that it gets a little bit more real estate on the page. So with this book, yeah, it's just a little thin, like they call it notebook. It's not that many pages. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but it's not that many, and I just kind of write random things. Like I have some notes that I took with after meeting with a friend. Back here I have some notes as far as my IVF protocol for this month. And then sometimes I keep stuff here, sometimes I don't. And another new thing that is a part of my planner is this clear, let's see if I can take it out. It is this clear vinyl cover. So with this cover, it is too big. And already it's seemingly doing its job. Unless, oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of dirty, but this is a Midori cover for their like 365 page per day kind of thing notebook. And so obviously that notebook is going to be a lot thicker. I would venture to say at least twice as thick as this. So I went with that particular one, even knowing that my cousin Avec is only going to be half the size, but I figure it's going to chunk up and potentially be able to fill it out. And even though it is a little bit, my cousin is a little bit chunky, it's most likely not going to be enough. A little tip is, you know, don't get the 365 or page per day Midori cover because it is too big for the Avec. And even with this other notebook, it's still obviously not going to be filling it out, but it's just, I don't know if it's obvious like how loose that is. And it's basically the same way if I had the back cover tucked in here. So anyway, yep, that's how I use my Hobonichi cousin. And if you have any questions as far as, I don't know, products that I used, or if you saw something and you're curious about it, yeah, just let me know in the comments below. If you do like this video, please do consider subscribing since it does help my channel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you stuck around this long. I know I tend to ramble, but thank you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.